What's up, dudes and dudettes of the internet? My name's Seth, and today we're going to be taking a quicker look at how the gems work in Trove. First of all, you're going to press C to bring up your character menu, and you're going to notice this new gem tab right here. Each of these slots is associated with a certain character level. As you can see, this slot right here will require level 27 in order to open. The smaller slots are meant for normal elemental gems, while the bigger slots are meant for empowered gems. Obviously enough, red gems go into the red slots, yellow gems go into the yellow slots. In order to collect gems in the first place, you're going to have to take a trip to some of these new elemental worlds. We are in the hub right now where you can access these portals at any time. Certain elemental worlds will only be available for a certain difficulty of portal. As you can see over here, U7 is when the fire worlds first start. Completing a dungeon in the air, water, or fire worlds will give you an associated chest of that element. These elemental worlds are vastly different from the normal Trove dungeons, and as you can see right here in the air world, it is a cursed skyland generated over Skyland. Completing a dungeon in this world or any other will end up yielding an elemental chest. As you can see right here, we have an epic air gem chest. Completing a dungeon in a fire or water world would end up giving us a water or fire chest. The rarity of the chest is determined by the circle surrounding it, and the quality of the chest that you earn is dependent on the uber difficulty of the portal that you're in. Opening any of these elemental chests will end up giving you the elemental gem of the same element. Once you have the gem, you simply drag and drop it over to the left side where your gem slot is, and it gives you a warning that it will cost 250 flux to unsocket this gem later. That means take it out of this slot and back into your inventory. Once you have the gem equipped, simply right-click it and you can start leveling it up. As with everything relating to these elements, you're going to need the appropriate dust of the elemental gem that you're trying to level up. Elemental dust is earned from deconstructing an elemental gem in the loot collector. Air gems give air dust, etc. While leveling up a gem, it has a chance to break, do nothing but take resources, level up once, or level up twice. In the unfortunate event that the gem ends up breaking, you're going to have to go to the gem store and get yourself the Regeminator for 500 cubits. I would highly recommend getting jade clovers with your cubits instead, because each jade clover equipped will end up making it so the gem cannot break. That's what all of these items are down here. The jade clover makes it so that you cannot crack your gem. The horseshoe makes it so the gem cannot crack, but you also have 2 times chance for it to level up. The dice prevents breaking and has a 5 times chance to level up, while the lapis luck bug prevents cracking and gives a 30 times chance to double level it up. The reason I recommend taking the jade clover is because that I find it's a lot better to use your cubits on it and get multiple of them rather than take the chance of the gem breaking. Then you just click level up and you're ready to go. For each level that you pump into the gem, you're going to increase its stats by a little bit and give a little bit of power rank. It's important to note that at every 5-level interval, you will end up getting more stats and more power rank for each level. As you level up gems even higher, you can unlock a total of 3 different stats for each elemental gem, like I already have unlocked on this empowered elemental gem, but we'll talk about the empowered mental gems now. In order to get empowered elemental gems, we're going to have to take a trip to the Shadow Tower. Progress through the Shadow Tower as normal until you arrive at the Shadowy Merchant. On the final tab marked Lunar Souls, you're going to end up spending your Lunar Souls to get empowered gem boxes. The way you get Lunar Souls is by beating Daughter of the Moon on any difficulty. Unfortunately, I don't have any Lunar Souls to give you an example, but opening these boxes will give you an empowered gem, an uncommon chance for a class key gem, or a very rare chance for a diamond dragon egg. These boxes can also give you a lucky chance of unlocking a new stellar aura for your hat. So what do empowered gems do over normal gems? Well, for starters, they have higher power rank and higher stats on them, and they also have a chance at a special ability. These are very similar to the banners in PvP. As you can see with this empowered air gem, avoiding damage grants a protective shield, absorbing the next attack and stunning the attacker. This ability is not unique to this specific empowered gem. You can end up getting a very similar ability, if not the exact same, on a water gem. But as you see here, instead we have killing an enemy has a chance to generate a flaming disc that damages nearby enemies. As the gems level up, the only real disadvantage is that it's going to cost you a lot more gem dust and have less chance for success. A higher gem will also cost you a lot more flux to unsocket. It's also important to note that if you end up dragging and dropping an empowered gem over a current empowered gem, it will destroy the one that is currently equipped, while not costing you any flux to unsocket the current one. What's so game-changing about these gems is the fact that they are not linear stats like any of the gear in the entire game. Each gem can end up having its own unique properties, and although it can only pick from a handful of different stats, it means that the variation between health regeneration from one gem to another may end up being slightly different. This makes it very, very difficult, if not impossible, to end up farming for the most ideal gems ever, because the only way you're ever going to know if a gem is more powerful than the one that you have is by finding it. When opening up gem boxes, the best rarity that you can get out of a gem is, of course, stellar, as well as 3 stars already on it. This gem, as you can see, is already a level 9 3-star gem. And this is a level 1 gem with 2 stars in it, signifying the 2 stats that are available for viewing. If we would level this empowered gem up, we would end up seeing the 3rd stat. And because the stats are also random generated, it means that the gems are very difficult to grind up. Let's just say that for this gem, the 3rd stat wasn't unlocked yet. As we would level it up, it would unlock physical damage, which would be very disappointing if we were using a magic character with this gem and it generated physical damage. Now we'll talk about the special class augmenting gems. As you saw when we were using the Shadowy Merchant, in the empowered gem boxes there is a small % chance for it to drop a gem class key. The only place that you can use these class gem keys is in U8 or U9 Everdark portals. Keep in mind, the power rank required to enter this world is 5,000, but that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to be strong enough to handle it. Thankfully, tons of players farm this area. So do what I do. Fly around the map while everybody else kills stuff, and then just drop in and grab the loot. Rinse and repeat until you're strong enough to do the same thing and have other people leech off of you. The requirements in order to complete this dungeon are to survive for 30 seconds and kill 3 Shadow Golems. Unfortunately, these dungeons do scale, so the more people that are around, the more difficult it's going to be. More players means more enemies. As you can see right now, no golems are spawning because we have the maximum amount of entities on the map. Time to clear up the herd. Aha! That big beautiful creature is the Shadow Golem, which we are required to kill in order to complete the dungeon. In rare instances, the golem can sometimes spawn outside the arena. It's important to note you don't want to walk too far away from the totem in the center. So long as you have other players around, it's okay, but even though we are inside the Shadow Coliseum, we could walk over here and potentially have the quest cancel and have to start again. There are no flask rejuvenation stations in the Everdark. So as soon as you run out of flask, it's GG, mate. Once you complete the Shadow Coliseum, a chest will spawn. Of course, this one's already opened, but normally it would be closed. It's also important to note that you can't simply go over to a Shadow Coliseum that's already completed and leech the chest. You have to be a part of the event in order to use the key. Once you are at the chest, you can use a class gem key or a Shaper Star key nearby to claim your reward, but you only get to choose one or the other. The Shaper key will grant you Shaper Stars, which are required to create stellar gear. The class gem key, however, will end up generating a random class gem of your choice. The class gem that spawns is based on the class that you are currently select to. And again, if you're not the proper power rank to enter this world, you won't be able to use the chest. A class gem will always be a stellar empowered gem, whether it's water, air, or fire. Early versions of the gems could actually generate the wrong damage type. For example, a Chloromancer class gem could actually generate physical damage. This should be ironed out by the time Mantle of Power goes onto the live server though, so don't worry. The abilities gained from these class gems can be downright game-changing to very subtle. The Chloromancer's class gem, for example, has it so that at any time while spawning any type of plants, we have a rare chance of getting a green Gatling plant to spawn. This plant grows very quickly and causes some mega damage, but it's completely random whether or not it will show up. Other abilities, like the one for the Revenant, Boomeranger, and other classes, will actually make it so a nice radiant border will appear around the class ability that has been augmented. The devs do plan, eventually, to have class augmented gems for each of the 3 abilities for each class, which would make sense for the 3 different empowered gem slots. But don't hold your breath. And that's it, everybody. I hope that I covered everything that you needed to know about the gems in a concise and quick manner. After my first gem tutorial, I knew that I needed to do a better one because people still had a lot of questions that were unanswered. I hope this video has done some justice to that. Thanks for watching, everybody. I very much appreciate it. Do not forget to Hadouken the like button for me, share, favorite, and subscribe to join Team Pixel. Sayonara and stay epic, everybody.